A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses under loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. Alexander Tytler's words were written in the early 1800s, long before America became a superpower. But his words about American democracy are even more poignant today. Democracy will only last until people realize they can vote themselves benefits from the public treasury, i.e., taxpayer benefits and funding. And right now, in America, responsible democracy has fallen victim to those furthering and preying on ignorance. In New York City, voters recently embraced a self-proclaimed socialist, promising sweeping government intervention. Free housing programs, guaranteed jobs, guaranteed incomes, debt forgiveness, universal health care, and child care for all. Every problem, every hardship, every inequality, all supposedly solvable through the state's ever-expanding reach and large bureaucracy. That sounds good, right? Big daddy government providing and protecting all of us. But for some, it sounds like the very point Tytler was trying to make, that democracies die not through invasion, but indulgence. As Will Durant said, a great civilization is not conquered from without until it has destroyed itself within. When citizens start believing the government is from where all blessings flow and permission granted, when entitlements become rights, the system begins to invert itself. It's no longer about what people can do for themselves, but what politicians can promise them, especially if those promises come at someone else's or another generation's expense. This is the moment Tytler described, when envy and entitlement become tools of political power. And history shows, once that happens, that's decay followed by collapse. The treasury empties, the debts mount, inflation follows, and public virtue fades. Part of what makes this possible is ignorance, neglect of our civic mindedness. Poll after poll shows that a majority of Americans can't name the three branches of government. They don't know what checks and balances mean. They can't tell the difference between a right and a privilege, or between the federal government and their state. And yet, they choose who will steer the fate of all of us. That's not democracy. That's manipulation. A public that doesn't understand its system is defenseless against those who exploit it. Hopped up on social media, reality TV, and Netflix, we see slogans replacing substance, charisma and crafted PR replacing competence, promises replacing principles. Politicians compete to outpromise one another. Free college, free housing, free healthcare, debt forgiveness, all free, but paid for by your declining standard of living. And when those someone else's run out, or leave, or stop producing, the system itself begins to starve. Tytler's cycle unfolds again. From abundance to selfishness, selfishness to complacency, complacency due to dependency, and finally, dependency back to bondage. What makes this moment in America so fragile isn't just the policies, it's the mindset. The belief that freedom and comfort can coexist without thoughtfulness and sacrifice. Simply, envy is not at the heart of justice. Tytler saw this centuries ago. He didn't hate democracy, he just understood the human tendency to trade freedom for ease, discipline for dependency, knowledge for illusion. It is said that man's natural state is tyranny. And that's where we are now. A nation still free, but there are limits, and they're closing in. Still rich, but living on borrowed money and borrowed time. Still proud, but forgetting why we ever had a reason to be. When it comes to the government, the go-between that takes a big cut, no matter how benevolent it sounds, it can't give without taking from someone else first. And when the people begin voting for what they can take instead of what they can create, Tytler's warning stops being theory and looks like prophecy.